Okay guys, you've made it to your final video of the quarter, and your only video for this week. The only new thing that I'm going to be teaching you today is how to finish your game by building it into a complete program that stands alone and can run without Unity. Then I'll show you how to take that file and submit it to me for your final project grade. But before you do that, you really should go down the rubric and check and make sure that you have everything required in your scene. And just to help you out, let's go over a few things that you should all know you need to have in your scene if you want to get a good grade. First off, obviously, you need a terrain. Your terrain should not be blank and barren. Your terrain should have multiple textures on it. It should also have some hills and valleys, mountains, and what have you. Everybody's terrain can be completely unique and different, but as long as you've been working on it and putting in some effort, you should get good points on your terrain. Also on your terrain, there should be at least an example of trees and or grass somewhere. You don't need to have them everywhere or a lot of them, but I want you to show me that you know how to use them. Next, you should have water somewhere, whether it's a small pond or an ocean surrounding your island. Also, you should have a new skybox in here. If you still have our plain blank blue default skybox, go get something better and drag it in. You should have some sort of small house or structure that you built on your own and added textures to. You should also have some assets that you went and found on the asset store and imported because you thought they would be beneficial to your scene. When I'm playing your game, I should be able to walk up to at least one object and click on it to collect it. And let's not forget our most recent addition, a particle effect. You should have at least one particle effect that you created somewhere in your scene. It could be a fire like mine, or if you're ambitious and want to experiment with something else, by all means, have at it. If all of this is in your scene, you should feel pretty safe that you're going to pass. And if you put a lot of care and effort into your scene, then hopefully you'll get an A+. But let's say that your scene looks brilliant and you're happy with it. Or let's say that you've done everything you can and you're out of time. Either way, it's time to finish this and turn it in. Well, let's take a look at how we start that process. With Unity and your scene open, go up to File. And then we're going down to Build Settings. And click on this. Now, when we click on Build Settings, we get a new window. This window has a list of different platforms on the left, so theoretically, we could make this a game that could be played on the web, or on Xbox One, or Android or iOS devices. Though right now, we don't actually have everything installed to make that happen, and it wouldn't be very easy to use anyhow. But what we can easily do is use the default setting, which is PC, Mac, and Linux standalone, which right now, the target platform is set for Mac OS X, which is what we're all running on our laptops. Now before you come down here and hit anything, we need to look at the scenes in our build. Our build will produce a finished application, a game that can be played without Unity, that anybody could install on their computer. But right now, we have no scenes in our build. So the easiest way to fix this is simply have the scene that you've been working on open, and then click this box right here, Add Open Scenes. And now we have my first scene here in my build. With that done, we can simply click on Build, and then we need to input just a little more information. We need to give this a name. So do me a favor and name this just the same way that you named your project. Your name, Adventure. And as for the where, let's make this easy for you and just change this to your desktop. So your finished game should show up right on your desktop. And then I'll hit save. Now, depending on what you've put into your world, how many new assets you've imported, how large your terrain is, how many different trees and details you've added in, this could take a really long time for some of you, or it might go relatively quick for others. But for most of you, this will probably take a little while, so after you click Build, you can go make yourself a sandwich, have a snack, and then come back and see where it's at. When your build is successful, Unity should actually pop up a window that shows exactly where your file was saved. Mine was saved on the desktop, so I should also be able to find it right out here. With this file, if I double click on it, I should be able to play my game without even needing to launch Unity. So when I open it up, the first thing that happens is a little launch window. This allows me to change some settings. I've changed my graphic quality down to medium because I'm just running this on a laptop, and a detailed scene could cause a lot of lag if I'm trying to run it on the highest possible settings. So now let's click play and see what happens. Okay. In my game, without running Unity, there definitely is some lag, because again, this is not my high-end gaming PC. But the game is playable, and when you share your game with me, it should be playable for me as well, so that I can test out what's going on in your scene. Okay, great. So now we know that our build is working. So how do you get this file into my hands so that I can grade your final project? Well, let me show you. You'll go to Schoology, and in this last week's folder, you should find something that looks like this. Now this isn't exactly what yours will look like. This is sort of an example class and lesson that I've made without messing up things in your class. So you'll find the final project assignment and click on it. Then you'll come over here to where I see a resubmit button. Yours should just say submit assignment, and you'll click here. Now we will be uploading a file, so all we need to do is click on this file icon right here, and then go find our file. So mine I know is on the desktop and is named Your Name Adventure. So I'll select this, click choose, and it may take a little while to upload, but that's okay. You may not even notice it at first, but it will soon pop up. While it's zipping and uploading this, it gives you a little bit of time to write a comment. This is a great time to tell me anything that you feel you should tell me about your scene. Tell me what went right, tell me what you liked, tell me what went wrong and what you struggled with. Specifically tell me if you know that something is missing from your scene, tell me why. If there's no water in your scene, and that's because every time you brought the water in, Unity just crashed, let me know that. If you were working on code and it didn't quite get finished, so it never made it into your game, let me know about that. If you just ran out of time, or you started late and didn't get as much done as you wanted to, tell me about that. Of course, I plan to hold you accountable for everything that is supposed to be in your game. But if you had problems along the way, it's fair to let me know. So once your upload is finished, and you've told me anything you need to tell me about how building your game went, then just go ahead and click submit. Now, as always guys, as we're going through our last week, if you need help with anything, just shoot me a message on Schoology or stop by during our office hours. But until next time, good luck and have fun.